They know what our number ones are.
Yeah, the door.
If you've been paying attention, you know what our number ones are.
Alright, you want to start?
I'll start. My favorite show is Avatar: The Last Airbender. And when I was finished watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, I said, that might just be my favorite thing. My favorite thing.
Yeah.
Granted, Gravity Falls got very close to unseating it, but I can't put... Unlike some people, I cannot put anything above Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I put two things above it. Oh man, I'm
okay. Well, you put your entire childhood, and then my second favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
So I can't.
By the way, we have to say Avatar: The Last Airbender, because if we're just saying Avatar, we're referencing a thing we hate. If we're just saying The Last Airbender, we're referencing a thing we hate. So, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You have to say Avatar: The Last Airbender. You wouldn't believe how many times I've typed ATLA.
That's funny.
That's,
Atla.
That's
I never realized
that's literally what it says on my list.
Oh,
Atla.
Atla. That's funny. I never thought about it.
And so, wow. It's just
I think
perfect.
you can sum it up with that. Just wow. Like it's a show that makes you sigh in a good way.
Everything about it is so great. The action, all the cool bending, the characters. Man, I could do a top 15 favorite characters for this show, and I would love every single one of them. We might do that one day.
It's top 15 Avatar: The Last Airbender characters.
We could do 10, but I would make some devastating cuts to get down to 10.
I really love the show. I don't know if I could name 10 characters. It's been a while since I watched it.
That's fair. Zuko's my favorite character. Oftentimes, I'm like, there is an objectively, like, best, most complex character in a show.
Yeah.
And most of the time, that's not my favorite character.
Sure.
But with Zuko, it is. There's just poor Zuko.
I think you can just sum it up with that. Just poor Zuko. You know another way you can sum it up.
That's Rough Buddy.
Buddy.
Which is the reference I make the most out of all the references.
Oh yeah.
I've already said that's Rough Buddy twice today. like actually like.
I said a lot too because of you.
Yeah.
Mainly.
Yeah.
But also because of the show.
And it's just, I also love Toph. It's
Toph
kind
is
of
probably like the fan favorite. She's probably most people's favorite character.
And like, it's kind of weird watching the first season and you're like, Toph's not there, and I'm like so excited for Toph to arrive, but it's not like not good before Toph shows up. It's still great because it's still Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it is so brilliant. It's one of those shows like Gravity Falls that doesn't go too long. It's like, we're gonna do 3 seasons, and that's all we need to do. I could have watched 15 seasons if they didn't decline in quality.
Both shows that kind of got, I'm not going to say screwed by their networks, especially with Alex Hirsch, because he has said that Disney was good with their show, but there's a lot of spacing out of episodes and a lot of when it aired, and anyway,
yeah,
a lot. It's good to watch it on DVD.
A lot of weird things that happen with both of those shows, but man, Avatar was so good. And you know what? It probably wouldn't be number 1 on my list if it was more than 3 seasons. It's just my favorite thing. I can sit down and watch any episode of Avatar anytime. I don't love every episode.
The Great Divide.
The Great Divide is the obvious one. I'm not a super big fan of the waterbending scroll.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like when characters act outside of character, and I think that's very outside of character for Katara, and I love Katara, not as much as he does, but I also love Katara.
Yeah.
And
how do you feel about the Ember Island players?
I like the Ember Island players.
I really like that episode.
It's
a lot of people
really,
don't like it. I think it's really funny.
It's really funny and meta.
Yeah.
And I
like
love
meta.
meta.
Yeah, see, you and I like meta. That's why we like it. That's why, yeah.
If you don't like meta, there's no point in you watching that show. But it's like, so like
in that episode at least, yeah.
Avatar's like an American anime, and a staple of anime is the recap episode.
Sure.
And the Ember Island Players is the best done recap episode of all time.
It's a really funny concept.
It's so good. And man, Uncle Iroh is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's my roommate's favorite character.
It's a good choice.
And just every single thing about that show is exactly what I wanted in a show.
Another great Allow shout out. Azula is awesome.
Azula
is one of the coolest villains ever.
Azula,
especially
is
at the end when she gets really crazy.
Easily one of my favorite
awesome.
villains of all time.
So awesome.
Just an all-time great villain.
I like all those sisters. They're really great.
Yes.
Any final thoughts on Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Anyone can watch it and get something out of it, I think. And like a show like SpongeBob, your mom probably isn't gonna like SpongeBob that much.
Yeah, I say it's a millennial show for a reason. I think anybody above that won't really like it.
But
they might be able to appreciate some of it, but
I think that
my dad liked it. my dad got a kick out of it.
I think that anyone can watch Avatar, get something out of Avatar. It's just my favorite thing. It's the only reason why I'm not being an Avatar Last Airbender character is because that's harder to cosplay.
It is. It's harder.
Anyway.
My show's not hard to cosplay.
Hey, because I'm going to cosplay it.
My number one is Gravity Falls. The
second best show of all time.
Hey. Hey now. You're an all-star.
It came on.
Shut up. So I think that was a weird way to start this.
We really messed that one up.
I think we made it great. I think, you took the words out of my mouth. I mean, what else can you say? Gravity Falls is a show where every aspect of it works. Every single thing. And they do a lot of things. They do a lot more things than a lot of other cartoons do. They don't just have great characters and comedy. They also have this really great mystery aspect to it. Something that is not typically something I kind of follow usually. I'm not big into like trying to like figure out mysteries. Like I think mysteries are fun, but I don't go out of my way. But I just so respect this show for the amount of insane detail they went into, for how many Easter eggs there are.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's technically tied to Rick and Morty, which is that's an honorable mention for me. That might be my favorite show ever. But there's so many tiny Easter eggs, and Alex Hirsch has said, the creator, who's I've name dropped several times now, but he has said that people have not found everything yet. He's actually said that, and I kind of believe him. Like, even though I feel like the internet figures out everything right away, I believe that there are stones left unturned in that show.
No show has had more thought and care put into it.
Yeah, that's why for me, that's like my favorite thing, is absurd amount of detail and care put into something. That's why, some of my favorite movies are Kubrick movies or Fight Club or something like that, where there's just a massive amount of detail put into it and thought and in every single frame. And I think Gravity Falls is a show like that, where just every single scene, like these artists, these writers, everybody is putting in something, and it's so smart and it's so detailed, and that's my favorite kind of thing. It also has a massive amount of heart, and these characters are incredibly funny and weird, and like we're talking about Grunkle Stan and Seuss and Mabel, and these characters who are very off the wall and silly, but at the same time you have such a strong care for them, and if anything bad happens to them, you feel bad. And all three of those characters get put in peril at some point or another, and you are afraid for them. Like, you genuinely feel for these characters, and you feel for all of them, but those are just like the goofiest characters. But every single episode it's funnier than the last one. It's always just a great concept. It's always something smart, something funny, something that's been done before but in an entirely different way, some things that have never been done before. All the guests are great. J.K. Simmons obviously is amazing. Nick Offerman is on it. He's amazing. Louis C.K. shows up.
Is the head with the arm?
He's a head with an arm. He shows up for technically 2 episodes. I think he's in 2 scenes and gets almost all of the laughs of the show. Like he is so massively funny for just a tiny bit he's in there. Everybody is, and yeah, like you said, like the villains are amazing. I think Bill Cipher is one of the best villains in TV history. He's great, and I heard that Alex Hirsch wanted to get David Lynch to do his voice,
I did hear
and
that.
he couldn't, so he did a bad impression of David Lynch, which is funny because now when I hear it, I'm kind of like, oh, I guess I can kind of see him trying to do a David Lynchy kind of voice. You want some coffee? Like he just has like a kind of a nasally, annoying voice. But I love David Lynch. But anyway, and it is a cartoon Twin Peaks, and I'm a Twin Peaks fan as well. So it hits so many targets for me. And I also love the show. Technically takes place over one summer. I think Phineas and Ferb does too, right?
Yeah.
And what I love about it is how cleverly they put in seasonal episodes. So like their Halloween episode is called Summerween, and it's a celebration specifically in their town. I think that's so great. There's just so many things. I could talk about the show for forever, honestly. I'm always happy whenever I walk in a room and see somebody with a Dipper hat. I'm so glad that this show it didn't become a cult following years later. Like it became a cult following right away. Like it's actually popular. I've heard it was one of the most watched shows on Disney Channel history. Actually,
I don't know the statistics there, but
I don't know
I
the
hope
statistics
that's
either.
the case.
But I've heard that that's the case, and it's odd that Disney Channel decided to space out episodes so much. I don't exactly know what the plans were there. I don't know how much involvement Alex Hirsch had with the scheduling of the show, but I couldn't be happier that it ended with 2 seasons. I think that was a great idea. I think the show is perfect, and I think to add more to it could be great. But I'm completely fine with it because it was his decision, because it was always in the creator's hands, and that so rarely happens with a show. There's so many of my favorite shows got out of the creator's hand at one point or another. Community being the number one example, getting out of Dan Harmon's hands. But I'm so glad that this show got to be Alex Hirsch's from start to finish, and that he finished it on his terms, and he was happy with it. The ending is perfect. Every character gets a curtain call. It's wonderful. It's a show you have to watch. You gotta watch it. It's only 2 seasons. It's not that hard.
It's pretty easy to find too. It is.
It's a cartoon. Cartoons are pretty easy to find online.
That's true.
Yeah.
It is brilliant.
Not
so
that
good.
we're saying pirating is okay, but we kind of are. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
Yeah.
so good.
So those are our top 10 animated series in a fairly specific but not really category. What are your favorite animated series? Let us know in the comments below. See, we're kind of getting the hang of when to tell people to put comments in.
Or tell us we suck because we put the wrong things, or
Yeah.
because I didn't put SpongeBob, or I did put My Little Pony, or he put whatever.
Yeah, tell me I'm dumb or whatever. Like, just, whatever. That's cool. Whatever, man. It's the internet. We know what's up. We know what happens.
We sure
here.
do.
Some people just have to get your stupids out through the typey thingies, and that's okay. Some people got to do that.
That's yeah. Now that we're done insulting you guys,
No. But we kind of are.
we'll see you whenever a good movie comes out.
We'll see
Actually,
you
whenever
in
a movie,
forever.
whenever a movie that we go watch that we feel like reviewing comes out.
There you go. We saw a movie not so long ago, and it was okay.
That's happened a few times.
Yeah. We'll see a movie. We'll be like, "That was pretty good."
We've had
we don't review it.
we've,
Yeah.
we've seen at least 3 movies this year that were like, we didn't feel strongly enough about this to review it.
Yeah, it happens. Anyway, yeah, we'll see you at the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.